He says, no. The way is, we are now living 2,000 years after the event, and people, when they read these stories, it sounds like fairy tales. This is, man, it could have happened. You know, he was floating about, here, there, everywhere. You know, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Like Ahmad Deedat. You know, I was here about a week ago. You know that? No, that's 19th of June. It seems like yesterday, no? See? And then he said, look, the guy was there, and he was here, and he was in Birmingham. And but you know how it's happening. He says, I left Birmingham this morning, I came here, I'll be back again tonight, tomorrow I'm in Blackburn, and next night I'm in Bradford, and then I'm back home, and I'm here, there, and back again. But now you know how it's happening. I'm not a ghost. I'm not a spook. Look, I need transport, this, that, everything to make all these things possible. But to a man who's saying, well, I saw him in Birmingham yesterday, man. I said, no, I saw him in Bradford. The other guy said, I went through 5 countries in one day by car. And back, 5 countries I went through. In one day. Can you imagine? It was in the UAE. So I was traveling from Abu Dhabi to Dubai, to Sharjah, to 5 countries. There are 7 little states, city-states. I went through 5 countries in one day and back again. What was I? A spook? A ghost? No. I said, look, this is how I went in a car, good car. I was didn't do a certain job at the end of this UAE, and I had to come back again. So, but now, when you are reading the stories, like a fairy tale in the book, the Bible, is like a fairy tale. So when you read something like a fairy tale, you have a right to assume that this is myth. It's a fairy tale. Jeffrey Hunter, I don't know if you know his name, Jeffrey Hunter, he acted as Christ in one of these films called Jesus, this is The Day of Triumph. That was a film about Jesus. He had to walk up the hill. They took this shooting, they did it in Jerusalem, Mount Zion, outside Jerusalem. And for the filming, they had to make him to walk up the hill. And he walked up the hill and panting for breath and sweating. He's a Christian, good Christian. When he went through this, acting Christ, he said, you know, for the first time in my life, I realized how human Jesus was. But look, if he walked these hills, he must have also been panting for breath and sweating. Like, then I realized that how human Jesus was. Otherwise you think he is a Superman. Something more than Superman, what Superman does on your films, you know, Superman 1, 2 and 3. This Jesus was doing all that sort of things, you know, like a mythology. So, the Quran comes to testify. In the ayah I read to you, from Surah Nisa. Surah Nisa. And it is a good practice, I'm suggesting, recommending to my brothers and sisters, that when anybody makes reference to the Quran and he gives you the reference, make a habit of going home and checking up. Not that you distrust the speaker, you think the guy is pulling a fast one on you, he's lying. No. If you go and check it up at home, you read it again, you'll refresh your memory, and that part of knowledge which you are rehearsing, it will become your property. Once it becomes your property, you can share it with others. Otherwise, this is good entertainment. This is all good entertainment. Good entertainment. Instead of wasting time in front of the TV, this is better TV, you see, do that in live, you see. But now, check up. So I said Surah Nisa. And for the bulk of the people, Muslims, non-Arabs, it's very difficult to find surahs in the Quran. Surah Nisa. Where will you find it? In the Mashhaf, in the Arabic Quran, very difficult for us non-Arabs. I don't know how easy it is for the Arabs to find, I don't know. I have been wanting to ask, how easy? I said, look, Surah Zumar. How do you find it? Do you start paging through, you Arabs? How do you find it? Do you know where to find it? Or you just page through? So Surah Talaq. How do you find Surah Talaq? What do you do? Start paging through? Well, how do you find it? I don't know. I'm still going to ask the Shaykh, you know, when I have time, inshallah. But now, for the non-Arab, for us, if you have a translation like this particular one here, this is by Abdullah Yusuf Ali. I noticed that our brothers from Birmingham had taken the trouble to bring some over. This Yusuf Ali translation. At the back of this volume, this encyclopedia of 2,000 pages, there is a very comprehensive index. Anybody gives you a name of a surah, it's a surah Nisa. Maybe you know, but generally, just like in a dictionary, look at the N, Nisa, they'll tell you chapter 4. Very easy to find. Every page is numbered. Chapter 4, ayah number 171, very easy to find. Allah says, this Quran is available in the foyer. They are £5 each. Wallah, they are very cheap. It's a wrong term, but we talk about hadiyah. Hadiyah, hadiyah means what gift you'll give me for this. Now, the man wants to know how much. So I said, look, the hadiyah is £5. So what's that? What's that? I said, no, the hadiyah, you know, the gift. He said, so what gift? I want to know how much, what price. So look, I said, don't waste time. I said, all right, look, it's £5. Take it, it's £5. I said, it's very cheap. Sorry, very cheap. Look at this Bible. I bought this one in Birmingham from a bookshop called Hudson's. This Bible here, I paid £9.95, £9.95. Just about £10. VAT, I think it was over £10. I paid for this. This one here, you get 2 for 10 rands. 10 pounds. Very cheap. You owe it to yourself and your children to have this in the house. It'll improve your English. You'll have better understanding of Allah's kalam, what Allah wants, and everything on your fingertips, whatever you want to know. You don't have to start fumbling. In this book, everything. You don't know about marriage and the M. You don't know about divorce and the D. You don't know about talaq. Look up. Talaq. This is chapter 39. Just like that. Everything. What you want to know. Don't start going around and say talaq, talaq, talaq. Go and look up what Allah says, how to do the job if you must. Look, it's there. But we don't consult the book. We have heard from our fathers that when you get angry with your wife, what do you say? Talaq, talaq, talaq. And then you cry. So you go to the sheikh. I don't know about our Arab sheikhs, but in my country, the Indian alims, they say you make halalu. Halalu. This halalu. He says, now this woman of yours, this ex-wife of yours, not because you said talaq, talaq is finished, now she must marry another old man, stay with him at least for a night. At least they must go into a place, position where they can have relationship. That's a must. Then he must divorce again, and then you remarry her. I said, look, you fool, you made the mistake. Why punish the poor woman? What has she done? She is an innocent victim. Where's your sense, man? But no, you go through all this filth and dirt, filthiest, dirtiest thing that you can imagine, and you think you are a good Muslim because you didn't read the book.